Assalamu alaikum. Hi everyone. Welcome back after a lunch and prayer break. So we have right now an important topic, the auditing. And if you see your WhatsApp group, I have shared one ISO standard, 19011, and that would help us what kind of auditing standard structure we need to follow while we conduct audit, either internally or second party or third party. So we can compare what ISO is guiding us and what NEBOSH theory is explaining about auditing. So both ways, both documents will make us capable, to move on with our better understanding of auditing techniques. And as I mentioned earlier, it's up to us. If you have a passion as an auditor, by learning all these theories and having some practical experience and with some global qualifications in auditing as a lead auditor, first of all, like IRCA, ICQA UK accredited, if you get some lead auditing training separately for 5 days and achieve those exams, and then you get some accreditation from IRCA directly from UK, you can work as an auditor globally. Either you get approval for ISO 45001, like as a safety auditor, in other words, or you have interest in environmental management system. But what I mean is, the moment you will complete lead auditing courses into those domains, automatically, inshallah, through some certification bodies, through their guidelines, you will be approved as a lead auditor. So it's up to you. If someone of you have some kind of deep passion about serving the community as an auditor, then this is the route, to be the best auditor, inshallah. But as per NEBOSH theories, let's see what they are guiding about auditing. The definition, scope, and purpose of auditing. Auditing is a systematic, objective, and critical evaluation. So if critical evaluation is there, so as an auditor, we have to be critical thinker as well. A critical evaluator, because it's a deep kind of, like, even though it's a sampling based audit, but if you have critical thinking or kind of excellent skill for critical evaluation, of course you can quite easily observe where that company is standing in health and safety management system, or what are the gaps or opportunities for further improvement, or you're going to highlight, no doubt, as like in shape of observations, or maybe some opportunities for improvement, or maybe non-compliance could be major, minor, or critical. It is all depends on your internal auditing procedure, which is already being followed within your company. But even that procedure, you can double check either this procedure is developed as per international standards, or this is your own set of structure. Now we have one kind of group exercise. What is the difference between an audit and an inspection? What is the difference between an audit and inspection? I'm opening this question in the chat box. So I would appreciate if you can give some of your comments, or even you can speak up. It's up to you. The question is quite straightforward. The difference between an audit and inspection.
Yes, sir. I think the difference between the audit and the inspection, the audit, he will audit whole the system. Inspection, he will inspect something specific, okay? And the audit requirements is different than the inspection. Inspection, for example, for welding joint or whatever, something like that. For the audit, he will audit the management system itself. This is my opinion. Thank you.
Absolutely right, mashallah, great. So inspection means we can focus each area, each nook and corner of the company, any process, any machine, any any tools and equipment, or kind of a deep process analysis, just to see what is going on day-to-day basis. But in auditing, we audit the overall structure of the system and see either the system is fully compliant or we are still having some further chances for improvement. Like inspection is kind of a physical on-site verification that work is performed and equipment is maintained in accordance with existing HSE standards and procedures. So whatever SOP or kind of inspection procedures you implemented, you try to follow accordingly. And but in auditing, is kind of a system audit. But let's see what NEBOSH is guiding us. Now, for inspection is kind of a checks the workplace, checks records, usually quick, lowest cost, may only require basic competence, part of an audit. Looks at the physical reality of the workplace. So it's a broad third eye observation to any area or to any workplace to double check either everything is being followed as per the SOP or as per the process instructions. But in audit, we examine a lot of documents, we examine different procedures, we interview workers, we verify certain standards, and also we check no doubt the workplace because we have a site tour and we double check that whatever procedures are implemented, they are well implemented on ground also, not only in documentation. Yes, auditing could be a long process because sometime as per the size of your organization might is required 2 man days or 3 man days, sometime 1 week only to audit, and it depends on the size of your organization or complications of your processes. Yes, audit is usually expensive, requires a high level of competence also. Like I told you, if you truly want to work and serve the community as an auditor, and you have interest in safety, environment, or quality, or food safety, or any segment, or maybe business continuity, maybe energy management. So as per your passion, or as per your specialization, like you have degree in as an electrical engineer. So I would suggest you go for ISO 50001 and complete your lead auditing course, and achieve this certification. And through certification bodies, be an energy auditor, and work globally. If you are a particular person who loves to visit and explore different countries and have a learning passion to explore different organizations, so definitely you can find your way out as an auditor. Same way, if you have interest in safety, so then 45001, ISO 45001, again complete lead auditing and join some certification body, few audits, and then get approval from ISCA UK. And once you approved accredited lead auditor, inshallah, again you are free to work globally for through different certification bodies, Or one way around, I'm suggesting, especially to my Saudi friends, if you are capable enough as an auditor, then you can bring a certification body within Saudi Arabia, and you can certify companies. But make sure first of all you are qualified and have some experience, and then it's a huge business domain, mashallah. Otherwise, as an auditor, at least you can serve to the community. So what I mean is, as per your passionate area, you need to decide either you will be serving as a safety manager or as a safety consultant or as a safety trainer or as an auditor. Choice is yours. Or as a process engineer, safety process engineer. Okay, so but if you selected auditing field, then make sure you are capable to examine documents and examine the procedures, and you are capable how to conduct interviews of different employees, and you must be capable how to verify the standards, check the workplace. And remember, it's a long way process. Maybe you need to report getting a lot of objective evidences. Each clause you are verifying the company is compliant, and usually requires a high level of competence also. So looks at the management system that lies behind this. So I shared one auditing standard, repeating again in your WhatsApp group. Whenever you get time, whenever, just have a look into it. So at least you will, have some understanding how to conduct opening meeting, or how to plan an audit, how to, make arrangements for the audit, and how we're going to go for closing meeting, or sorry, opening meeting. What would be the agenda of opening meeting, how to prepare an audit checklist even, and most importantly, how to conduct that audit, and then how to collect objective evidences, how to prepare an audit report, and how you're gonna go for closing meeting. What I mean is, in a structured way, you will learn all the steps of an auditor, in the standard what I shared in the WhatsApp group. Because NEBOSH is also driving some of the standards from here and there and putting into their theories, and this is how we are learning. But what is the right way? We must benchmark a standard which is globally recognized and acceptable. Like I shared, 19,011. And yes, there are pre-audit preparations. Before you even decide to move on for an audit, it's really important to learn pre-audit preparation, what kind of things are required. The following should be defined, like the time scales, scope of the audit, which area, which department, or how many departments you are going to audit, which area you are going to skip, by the way. That means your audit scope must be clear. Are you going to audit all of your Sudara sites, or just site number 999 or site number 99, whatever? That means within your auditing scope, it must be well agreed and clear to the auditee and even you as an auditor. Now, area and extent of the audit and who will be required, either you will be conducting this audit as an individual auditor, or you required a team of auditors. If you required a team of auditors, who will be the lead auditor leading to this team, then yes, team works more faster, more effective activity you can play with, because you can finish an audit which required as an individual might be 1 week, but if you have a team of auditors, you can finish in 2 days maybe. So it's all depends, of your pre-audit preparation, and also agreement between the auditee and the auditing firm. Yes, what documentation will be required? Proactively you can arrange. And once you going for audit, during the audit, what things we have to bear in mind? Auditors use 3 methods to gather information. The best skill as an auditor, what we, mostly the auditors have, whenever we go on site and the people from different departments, they start talking to us. So we do this, we have this record, we have this record. And you know what we tell them? Okay, show me. The more they talk, the more deeper question we have with 2 words, show me. Like you say, we have 0% accident. Okay, show me your data analysis. If you're gonna say we have, just 7 injuries for the last 3 years, okay, show me the record and how you, have implemented some of the corrective preventive actions. If you're gonna say we have conducted 10 training sessions in 2020, so I will just, okay, show me the record. So this show me word is very much important for us as an auditor. And as an auditor, trust me or not, we have to be good listener. We have to be good listener. A friendly natured auditor, a diplomatic auditor with some sort of friendly nature and having ability to ask open-ended question, and then he is a good listener, he will collect every sort of information from that company, and later on he can verify through objective evidences, either this company is complying the standard or just they are over speakers or over talkers. Because sometimes I say great talkers, nothing do you. If a company is talking, but the moment you're gonna say, show me and prove that you are improving and complying all the requirements as per ISO 45001 or as per your customer standards or as per even Sadara standards, like you are auditing to your contractors. So remember these 2 words, show me. It's a very powerful verse, by the way. Okay, guys. So objective evidence, the more evidences you're going to collect, more easier it would be for you to prepare the report, more easier for you to make this audit effective. Let me give you an example. You highlighted a non-compliance, that there was a training plan, but the training was not conducted by the relevant department or as per the procedure number this, but you didn't collect any evidence. Like you didn't collect the training plan's copy with you, which training plan you verified as an objective evidence. You didn't lock the training procedure number, that based on which training procedure you are verifying the documentation. And if you don't collect those evidences within the report, it would be harder to prove, especially during the closing meeting. Several auditors conduct a swear mistake. They have non-compliance, but they don't collect sufficient, I would say sufficient objective evidences, and there would be a kind of a huge fight sometime in the closing meeting. The top management of that company gonna say, look, show us the evidence. Why you are telling housekeeping was not good enough? Show us the picture. Show us some, evidences that the housekeeping was not there. Otherwise, go back and see the area is fully clean, neat and clean. I hope you got the point. So whatever non-compliance or observations or kind of opportunities for improvement you're highlighting, highlight with objective evidence. That is why the paperwork critically important, like the documents and the records, you need to verify. And interviews, managers and workers. This sometime in documentation things are very attractive, but the moment you go on floor, like the record shows 0 hand injuries. I'm just giving one example. The safety record shows, the first aid record shows 0 hand injuries. But the moment you go on floor and check physically the hands of different employees or the machine operators, and you see several cuts, several hand injuries, but probably unreported, or might be nobody took them serious. But what the record shows, 0% hand injuries are there for the last 1 year or maybe 6 months. But the moment you went on site and you started talking to the people and they started showing, look, our hands are so much injured because several safety sensors are not working, several devices are not working. We can't stop the machine, because no sensors are there, and we are bypassing sometimes the safety sensors or safety devices because of certain pressures from the top management, because they need production. They just want to make money, to deliver the products on time and collect money back to their account. That is their single most important intention. I hope you got the point. So don't be misled only through the records. Have some interviews with the workers and ask them, some logical questions, and surely they will highlight. And through this, you can double check either the system is only attractive in the paperwork or physically it is well implemented. The third thing is the observation, workplace equipment, activities and behavior. The system says the PPs are issued, but physically the moment you are verifying, they are not appropriate, they are not suitable, they are misfit. Or you noted the behavior, the company have issued the PPs, but nobody is wearing, Like if you issued earplugs just to have, just to reduce the impact of noise below 85 decibel, because the noise level might be above 90 decibel, and you issued the earplug to bring that impact below 85 decibel. But imagine if employee is wearing the earplug like this instead of inside like this. I took personally some pictures, that is why I'm sharing, And some employees, you will see the earplug here, not inside, because they don't like your earplug, or it is irritating to them right after 5-10 minutes. So They have only one option, to keep that earplug visible only for you, as a show of peace, instead of wearing inside. So the purpose is not filled. So you notice the behavior, you see how things are, and then accordingly you put with evidences into your report. And of course, in the closing meeting, some clients, they will agree all NCRs quite easily, and some clients, they would give you tough time by asking cross questions or debating on different NCRs, and they're going to say close them out because the issue is already closed. Like if one of the company I was auditing and one guard was missing there, even though the fabricated one was already available in the workshop, but they didn't place it. So the moment I was auditing, I noticed and I took that picture and I highlighted the machine guard was missing on machine number this, and under this particular procedure number is kind of an observation. And before that closing meeting, they told me, look, the guard is there. So please take your NCR back. So when you are performing a third-party audit, bear in mind, now I have changed my strategy. Whenever I go for audit, what I do, if any NCR is there, on spot, I get acknowledgement or kind of endorsement from the relevant department. I take signature, I fill the NCR on spot and get their signature. Later on, even in the closing meeting, if some debate is going on, it is my courtesy, just to take it back. Otherwise, but I will definitely be following our auditing standards, given by our company. So I hope you got that point. So sometimes things could be very difficult if you are not strong in paperwork or getting documents or records as an objective evidence, or you are unable to conduct certain interviews with the managers or the workers, or you have weak observational skills. That is another gap point as an auditor. And sometimes if you are going to audit a company, like you are an electrical engineer, but you are going to audit a chemical company, so it's entirely a different domain. And if your homework is not strong enough, then bear in mind, it would be harder to make this audit effective. So I hope it will give you some energy how to be an effective auditor, in future, if you want to choose this field. Now, during the audit, what records and documents we can double check and verify? Like the health and safety policy, you can double check it is signed, updated one, displayed. And as an auditor, in my case, I always verify it is well understood by the employees. Like they must be familiar what is our health and safety policy, or at least what is written inside, or what is the purpose of this policy. Then of course we can verify the risk assessment and safe systems of work. We can double check the training records, minutes of safety committee meetings, whatever record you are verifying, just make sure you make notes, like training record number, this employee, format number this, you check, so you keep notes, because after all, you are going to prepare an audited report later on. So you need plenty of evidences. Now, minutes of safety committee meetings, maintenance records and details of failures, records of health and safety monitoring active like tours, inspections, and surveys. But don't accept blindly. Like I gave one example of forklift operator. I asked him, show me your 90 days, the last 90 days inspection record, daily inspection record of your forklift. And the moment I selected random reports, not all, just few reports, and I shocked to see that all the reports are saying everything is 100% okay. Then in that case, much better is to visit physically and see whether it is true or they are the fake reports, And the moment verified the forklift, I mentioned earlier, the safety belt was not buckling, the horns were not working, even the forks were wobbling up. Not good enough, not alignment was not good, tires quality was terrible. Even the forklift body was crashed terribly. That means a lot of near misses were unreported. Might be he hit to the pillars, different machines or walls, but he didn't tell to anyone, you know. But nobody was able to catch him actually. So choice is ours as an auditor. Either we'll accept blindly all the records, or we will double check and cross check either it's a fake one or genuine record, you know. Because your fake takes, bear in mind, could be the killers of your employees. I repeat again, the fake takes, that means you are increasing the probability of accidents or kind of near misses, because you're not taking any corrective preventive actions, because your report is saying everything is okay. And you're losing an opportunity to further improvement. And those points surely we need to make positively understand to the organization, rather than they are just having pressure, auditor is coming, everything must be 100% okay, so that we can get a report with zero NCR. In one of the company, the safety manager told me, Mr. Ishtiaq, we have done a lot of hard work and we want zero NCR in the auditor. Why you are missing the opportunity to get further chances for improvement, you know? Why are you expecting that everything 100% must be correct in the audit report? I mean, let me do the audit honestly and later on see how many chances of improvement are there, rather than putting me under trouble, under pressure. Just you need zero NCR in the audit, you know. So as an auditor, you have to be bold enough also. You have to be confident, my friends, if you're going for an auditor. Because the auditee could be a tough guy, could be a polite guy. You know, it's not like always the similar. It's a mixture of people, mixture of natures, you know. Some companies, they warmly welcome to the auditors. Some companies, they hate to the auditors, because they're afraid they will highlight plenty of points and they're not well prepared. They're just attractive in documentation, but on ground, just on the same audit day, they improve something, otherwise, horrible condition. Now, we can also double check and verify the accident investigation reports and data, including near miss information. Now, if a company is saying zero accident for the last 3 years, then during the interview with managers and employees, you can double check, ask them, is there any accident in your information? And if they're gonna say yes, an accident was happened 6 months before. One guy, you know, he had a fracture in the leg and the company terminated him and he went back to India or to Pakistan or somewhere. But the story was not shared, you know, in records actually. So during interviews, you can still collect plenty of, even though we are a source of further improvement, we are not policing there. We are supporting to this organization to get some more points for further improvement. Now, emergency arrangements can also be verified. Don't be misled only with the documentation. Double check either they have conducted physically evacuation drills, yes or no, or they just prepared the record and you also accepted. Again, during the interview, you can verify when the last drill was happened within your company. And if the employee says never ever, there is no drill. So it's quite straightforward evidence. You can note down the employee name, number, and the statement. And if you want to keep it secret, it's up to you, but still no harm to highlight that the drills are not there, but fake records is found, and somewhat you highlight in the observations. You know, the best thing is to verify inspection reports from the insurance companies. And I personally noted the reports from insurance companies are most of the time I found very effective, very genuine, by the way, because that is their major concern. If they will highlight, like you have fire insurance of your warehouse, they will try their level best to point out several health and safety or fire safety issues and tell to the or put pressure on the top management of the company to bring more improvements. Because as an insurance company, I don't want to see any fire incident, right? Because a fire incident means hell of money I'm going to pay. So intentionally, I went for a deep analysis and kind of a critical audit, and will point out several points for further improvement, and will highlight to the management, please improve your fire safety system. That is why I'm telling, mostly I found those reports very much effective. Output from the regular visits like visit reports, enforcement actions, see any enforcement actions from Saudi government side, like any PME, President's Environmental Metrology, if their officials visit, GOSI is visiting, or somewhat Minister of Health because of COVID-19, if they are visiting and found any violation, even in collaboration of Minister of Interior, they're also getting involved. So just make sure you have certain reports. If there are any enforcement actions from the legal authorities, that report you can also double check and verify. Records of worker complaints. If any company says we have 0% worker complaints, it's a lie. It's a fake. It's a fake news, my friends. It's hard to find any company where all employees are happy. All employees. And nobody have any complaint. So choice is yours. Are you going to be the honest auditor or kind of just an auditor going to fulfill the formality only? I can't use the word dishonest, but it's up to you guys. At the end of the audit, what exactly we have to do? Usual to hold a close-out meeting, followed with a written report, and how to prepare an audit report is an excellent skill, how to prepare an audit report. It is the responsibility of management at all levels to ensure recommendations for improvement are communicated and implemented. Audit may be necessary for certification like ISO 45001. This is company's choice, But normally what I noted, when the customer is saying, like when Saudi Aramco says to the contractors, go for ISO 45001, we need that certificate for your company. All the contractors will start running behind. Some would try to get a piece of paper by phone, by paying money on the table, whatever, because Aramco is asking that certificate. And some companies, they are very much responsible. They will first develop the system in line with ISO 45001. They'll conduct an internal audit. They'll do a management review meeting. They'll conduct several internal training sessions for this standard. They develop all policies and procedures in line with this standard. Might be they're going to hire a management consultant or will be doing through safety manager, And once they are ready, then they will call to the third-party companies for audit. And this is how a responsible company will try to get ISO 45001 certificate. Now, several certification bodies, I don't want to quote the name, they are demolishing the name of ISO standards by issuing the certificate through getting some extra money or kind of bribe or commission, or maybe getting influence. Oh, he's my friend. That safety manager is my friend. So just issue the certificate. We will prepare report. We will do everything. Just issue the certificate, So through this, they are definitely demolishing the name, the brand name of ISO standards. But the companies who truly understand the value, they damn care about certifications. They first focus on the system development because they know how many benefits they're going to get once the system will be designed and established as per ISO 45001. Then they will call to the third party company and still willingly they're going to tell to the auditors, Mr. Auditor, thank you very much for coming. In the opening meeting, they're going to say, we want you to have deep analysis, even it's a sampling base. like you mentioned, but still we want you to highlight any further areas for improvement. We need your help. We need your support. So this is kind of an honest commitment from, but such kind of companies are very less, to be very honest. Mostly the intention is to achieve the certification at any cost. This is how the market is responding, for ISO. Otherwise, these ISO standards are very much beneficial. And just for your information, usually market is having some lack of knowledge. I noted one of the company, they are the consultants. They have a website as a consultant. Then they have a website for a certification body. Then they have a website for accreditation body. So all websites belong to one person. And market is still getting certificates from such a fake certification body, because of lack of knowledge. And they have no idea how to verify the credibility, the legal status of a certification body. Like if you are hiring a certification body, this is another, apart from this study, just for your information. Imagine we all are going to hire a certification body. What process we need to follow? If I ask this question to all of you, how would you hire a certification body for ISO 45001? What things you're gonna check? Can you just reply in the chat box? How will you select a CB, certification body? What steps you're gonna follow? How you'll verify the credibility, the authenticity of this certification body? Then I'll share with you some of the criteria, so no one can play inshallah. Let me understand your point of view first of all. How will you select a certification body? Like you have pre-qualification criteria for all the third-party contractors. So if you are hiring a certification body for your company, based on what criteria you will be hiring them, How would you verify their credibility, their authenticity, their legal status, and how are you gonna make sure they are not the fake one? Yes, please. Because once you have established a system, okay, so it depends on the background. Okay, so we'll check their market credibility, their reputation. Yes, Mr. Ryan. What else? And one of the certification body I found two parallel website, but same certification bodies. And market is still confused. And market intention is just to have a piece of paper, the certificate, to show to their client, And nobody knows how to even verify that certificate. That is not the fake one actually. Yes, Mr. Ryan, we can get list of clients also. We can first of all ask their legal documents, from the Saudi government. Either they are registered, they have a CR first of all. Are they registered with SASO? Are they registered with we have TVTC, like all the training, like we as a training company, we are registered with TVTC because that is mandatory. Even though we have CR, we have a rank approval, we have different vendor IDs, like from Saudi Electricity and several other, and a lot of international accreditations from NEBOSH, from IOSH, from IADC, from IQU, some of the OSHA accreditation bodies from USA also. And why we are getting all these accreditations? Because this is how you can show your credibility to the clients. Look, we are not the fake one. And our certificates are credible. And yes, absolutely right. We can check auditors' qualifications, experience, and they will be auditing our company. Yes, we can double check how they're gonna conduct the audit. Do they have some understanding? We can ask auditors' profile, kind of CV even. Okay, let me guide you from the top until down. First of all, we have IEF. If you can note down somewhere, IEF, International Accreditation Forum. This is the top level, forum for accreditation bodies. International Accreditation Forum is there, and under IEF, all the accreditation bodies will come. Like accreditation body from UK's UCAS, from Saudi Arabia is SASO, from Pakistan is PNAC, Pakistan National Accreditation Council. Same way, every country have an accreditation body, within their country. And all the accreditation bodies, they will register themselves within the database of IEF. And then under accreditation bodies, you will find several certification bodies. It depends which standard they purchase and what kind of accreditation they got. Like, let's take an example, UCAS. Under UCAS, take an example of SGS. Now, SGS got accreditation from UCAS for 45,001, for 14,001, for 9,001. And now we are hiring SGS. So first, we need to verify SGS name in UCAS website or in their database. Then UCAS must be verified in IEF. So until that level, we verified that the SGS is credible, and also we can check, their legal documents, and we can surely ask the list of clients, and we can check the market reputation as well. And most importantly, this SGS, they will come for audit, but not for the fake audit, for the genuine audit, once you are ready as a company, actually. Now, what is happening? One thing very critically important, Now, what is happening is, there is accredited certificates and there are non-accredited certificates. Like accredited certificate means UCAS logo gonna be there on your certificate. If it is the agreement is done with UCAS accreditation, and sometime agreement is done with UCAS accreditation, but SGS, God forbid, if they issue the certificate only with their own logo, because client have no knowledge what is UCAS, what is IEF. So a lot of benefit SGS is getting because no fee to UCAS actually. And if you paid, suppose 50,000 Riyal, and they paid maybe 2,000 Riyal to the auditor, or maybe 5,000 Riyal to the auditor, some transportation cost, and 45,000 is their profit. Why I'm sharing all these things? Because sometime you are going for bidding and your customer required you, please send me the certificates of your company, like ISO certificates. And they verify as a customer, Mr. Contractor, these are the fake certificates. Then your credibility would be on stake, That is why our knowledge bank must be fulfilled with all the required information, so nobody can cheat us actually. Our pre-qualification system must be authentic for each domain, like for certification bodies, for training bodies, for welding companies, for recruitment companies, for excavation companies, for scaffolding companies, For maintenance companies, the contractors, whosoever we are hiring actually, our pre-qualification system, our questionnaire must be domain based rather than just generic questions, because I noted personally the generic questions in the pre-qualification for all, same question bank for all. How come you can dig out, like you prepared a questionnaire for welding companies, welding contractors, and same you are sending to certifying bodies also? How come you are verifying? You are just fulfilling the formality. I hope somehow it will give you some, and you can go for further research and have some more understanding. It depends on your time availability. But I thought it is important to share because market is still lacking in knowledge. People are playing, they are issuing fake certificates, and companies are happy we are ISO certified. And this certificate they can't verify anywhere. They have no idea actually. Now discuss the advantages and disadvantages of external and internal audit. What are the advantages and disadvantages of an external and internal audit? Of course, there are advantages and disadvantages. I hope you remember I mentioned everything have advantages and disadvantages, like limitations and benefits for sure. Now let's discuss about one by one in the chat box advantages of internal audit. What are the advantages of internal audit as per your experience or understanding? Advantages of internal audit.
Just before the external audit is coming to us. So we ensure our documentation and work process and our standards are implemented well.
Okay, so these are the advantages. And
Yeah,
auditors.
so yeah, we are not calling it internal audit. We are calling it as assessments, internal assessment.
Internal assessments. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, and the biggest benefit is you understand your organization much better because you have internal assessors, so they know the department, they know the processes, and it's easier for them to find out further opportunities for improvement. Now, what are the disadvantages of internal assessors or internal auditors? Disadvantages. Disadvantages of internal auditors or internal audits or internal assessments. What are the disadvantages?
Disadvantage, I think maybe I can say for the department, sometimes they are not cooperate with you since you are not an external audit. So they are not giving you the enough documentation or enough evidence to close all the gaps.
Absolutely right. So they know your nature, they know your behavior, they know your caliber. So accordingly, they will be responding, Might be cooperating, might be not cooperating. So that means they don't like to report everything. Avoiding blame, shame. Yes. So let's see what NEBOSH is guiding us. Let's see for external audits. First of all, there are advantages of external audits, like it independent of any internal influence. Fresh pair of eyes are coming to audit, to observe, may have wider experience of different types of workplace. Recommendations offer carry more weight, and disadvantages is expensive, time consuming, may not understand the business, so make impractical suggestions also, because as I mentioned, if you are electrical engineer and going to audit to a chemical company or oil and gas, so that's not your specialization, or you never audited oil and gas ever before. So maybe you will be suggesting some impractical suggestions and may intimidate workers. So get incomplete evidence actually. These are some of the evidence advantages and disadvantages of external audits. Now, internal audits, first of all, advantages is less expensive, because you are using the same team. Auditors already know the business, so know what can be realistically achieved, improves ownership of issues found, and build competence internally. But there are disadvantages like highlighted by all of you, like auditors may not notice certain issues. Auditors may not have good knowledge of industry or legal standards. Auditors may not possess auditing skills, so may need training, and auditors are not independent, so may be subject to internal influence also. Now, the 4.4 element is all about reviewing health and safety performance. To review the performance, what things we can check? First of all, what is the purpose of regular reviews? Like full management system review, like by the board, annually and management team review, maybe quarterly, phased to full review, or departmental review, could be monthly by line manager to ensure on track. Assessing opportunities for improvement, that is the purpose of regular reviews. Reviewing performance is an essential part of any health and safety management system. Are we on target? We have to evaluate, we have to check our performance. If not, why not? So deep root cause analysis is going to be there. What do we have to change? So aim to reduce lost time accident by 5%. Let's take an example. Target has been met, or set a new target of another 5% for next year. So that means your safety KPIs or your targets must be realistic, attainable, achievable, smarter enough, in other words. Now, it's a group exercise. What active and reactive measurements of health and safety performance would need to be reviewed annually? What active and reactive measurements of health and safety performance would need to be reviewed annually? Imagine if you are a general manager and you really want to know where the health and safety system is standing, or what is the level of influence within your organization, how much it is beneficial. So what thing you're going to review annually? What are you going to say to the safety manager? Bring which records, or come up with what type of data, so you can easily evaluate either the safety system performance is okay enough or need a lot of improvements, because at least management review meeting must be there at least annually. Several companies have quarterly, biannual, even annually. But what I mean is, at least annually, if you have management review meeting, what kind of data you will be presenting to the general manager? Look, our safety system is excellent all the way. How are you going to prove it? What records are you going to show? Are you going to show the result of your internal audits? External audits? Are you going to share accident records? Your first aid injuries analysis? Are you going to share the trainings delivered within that period of time? Are you going to share some of the safety meetings, the analysis, how many meetings are conducted throughout the year? Going to share the action plan so far implemented and the rest of the things still in process? Because ultimately you are trying to prove that your system is working well or still need a lot of improvements. So remember, whenever we have a review, first of all, we just need to review the legal compliance, that we are not having any legal violation, accident incident data, inspection survey stores and sampling, absence and sickness data could also be shown, audit reports, achievement of objectives, enforcement actions, previous management review meeting, like last year, what was the result, and legal and best practice development. So issues to be considered in reviews. What output should come from the review? The records of the review should be retained, like demonstrate compliance with MHSWR, or result may have to be reported to shareholders. The aim is continual improvement. That is the purpose of this meeting also. Senior manager review performance and set targets for the organization. Middle manager review performance and set targets for their departments. Junior managers review local performance and set target for their local area. So these are the levels. Now here I would just mention one incident with all of you. Sometime you are working as a safety officer, but acting and performing like a safety manager. I repeat again, as a safety officer, your KPIs are different than safety manager. Because safety manager, he just chop up the elephant and share with you, these are the things you need to qualify, you need to perform, and ultimately to achieve the overall safety objectives. But what I mean is, sometimes you will be performing every activity what the safety manager should be performing as well. But the moment there is a performance review, it would never be highlighted that how many things you were doing, which were the responsibility of safety manager. Like this is the responsibility of a safety manager. Let's take an example. To deliver internal trainings. But all the trainings you are delivering, but your responsibility was like inspections, daily safety tours, supporting to the employees on site and having some day-to-day activities on floor and make sure there isn't any violation of safety procedures or policies, you know. But you are not an internal trainer. That was the responsibility of safety manager, but you are performing as a safety trainer as well. But when the annual performance review is there, management doesn't know, my friends. Most of the time they don't know. What they will take that the safety manager have fulfilled all the objectives. And your areas would be highlighted that you were the tiny guy and you just was performing these particular activities as per your agreed KPIs with safety manager. And this is the point where safety officers start thinking to quit, to leave that company because the boss is not good. He is ultimately all the time taking advantage of your day and night hard work. And I noticed several people, you know, they quit their job, they go to another job just because of bad boss, not because of bad companies, you know. I hope you got the point. So whenever there is a performance review, be clear. Be clear, these are my major responsibilities. First, you achieve your targets. And yes, as a team, we are there to support each other. But make sure whatever you are doing, somewhere to the top management must be highlighted that you are contributing. And if a good manager is there, he proudly gonna say that Mr. Rayan is doing these activities, not me. He is performing training, not me, but I'm supporting him. If he is a positive leader, if he is a kind of a selfish leader, of course, you know, he'll just take advantage of your hard work. And here, the people are getting so much hurt and they are leaving jobs, you know, not the companies, but the bad bosses. So I hope whenever you're going to have top position, you will be doing just this, inshallah. So bear in mind. So this is all about element 4. So in this element, what we have discussed so far, the difference between active and reactive monitoring, and several methods we shared. And also we discussed about the purpose and procedure for investigating accidents and how we're going to record and reporting, and why we need to do accident investigation, and the requirements of radar and the types of incident that have to be reported to the enforcing authorities. Describe the purpose and procedure for health and safety auditing and explain the purpose and procedure for regular reviews of health and safety performance. So tomorrow, inshallah, we'll start element 5. Until today, we have completed 4 elements, and these 4 elements are directly linked to IG1. That means our scenario, our, the questions against scenario, can be answered at least if we understand these 4 elements. Whatever scenario they're gonna give, maximum answers based on your IG1, this element 1 to 4, within this material, you would be able to give the answer, because 5 to 11 elements, this is all about risk assessment. That means our IG2 project, submitting risk assessment project, would be fully, will get full guidance from element 5 to element 11. So I hope, inshallah, and today I will share one scenario with 4 questions, just like a homework, and let me see how you respond to those questions. I'll give one scenario, we'll ask not 8-10 questions, only 4 questions. So in line with the scenario, you need to give answers. I will send a word format. Above you will get scenario, underneath you'll get 4 questions, and for each question you can type your answer against each question. So let me see, and individually I'll be responding and giving feedback, like how much hard work more you required, and what is your current situation, of your understanding, inshallah. Even though it's an open book, you can get answers, you can search from OSHA, from ILO, but in line with the scenario, you need to collaborate all those words. And those diamond words, how to find out of a pool of, the words is the best skill you require. Getting the answers is not a problem, but logically give the answer in line with the scenario. This is the right set of skills you require, and that required practice, practice, and practice. And bear in mind, this is the only tool up to 1st December. If you truly want to achieve 100% marks, inshallah, in NEBOSH IGC, it's a game of practice. It's a game of practice, getting the scenario, resolving, asking questions. You are the examiner, considering yourself, and you are the student or trainee as well. So 2 way you are thinking, and you are also focusing your day-to-day issues, because all our scenarios, whatever issues you are facing currently and how you are resolving them, the solution against any problem, even at your side, is the answer of those questions actually. So I will share one scenario just as the first practice drill, and then see how you respond to it. Okay guys, see you tomorrow, inshallah, with another element, even though it's a weekend, Thursday, inshallah. And then Friday and Saturday would be off, and we'll start back on Sunday with another element. Okay, take care of yourself.